and this is where I want to clarify with people the real importance of actually understanding. I'm telling everybody, and I will prove it, that you are absolutely fabulous and talented and great in your own energy. And this is why I love this tool so much. It doesn't lie. As you said, we haven't done your debrief yet. And that's where we really, unpack where you're in flow and where you're out of flow in your life. It can be to do with your business. It can be to do with you in your family situation. And the great thing is, once you actually understand as you as an individual and your strengths and what you really should be saying yes to and what you should be saying no to, then you will be very valued for that skill and that energy and that talent. And to be able to add value to somebody else's life or business, people see you shine in your strengths.
Talking with the Experts.
Hello and welcome to Talking with the Experts. Talking with the Experts is about all things business by business owners for business owners, and you can find it on all good podcasting streaming platforms and on YouTube. Hello, and my name is Rose Davidson from rosedavidson.com. And today my guest is Dianne Caldwell, and we're going to be discussing how to understand your strength to find your flow in life and in business. Now, Dianne is a certified talent and wealth dynamics consultant with over 10 years experience in using the Profile Test as her tool, and she helps business owners achieve the best results and get them into flow for themselves and for their team. And she's very passionate about her work and this tool that is used globally with great results. And today she wants to share with us her knowledge and her experience. Welcome, Dianne. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Oh, thank you for having me, Rose. It's an absolute pleasure.
Now, tell me a little bit about this great tool. I know I've just used it, so and I can vouch for it. Trust me, it does work. It actually picked out what I was like, other than being mean, wicked, and horrible and nasty, but it actually picked out a personality trait. So just explain to us what it is, how it's used, and what it's used for, I guess.
Yeah, great. My pleasure. It's actually a personal development tool and actually a psychometric test. So if anyone doesn't understand what a psychometric, it's very hard to say, test is, it's actually you actually answering very simple psychometric questions as to where your energy flows. And very simple, as you know, Rose, by just having done the Profile Test online yourself, 15 minutes or so, multiple choice. So it's not academic, it's really about where your energy lies and, how you behave in certain circumstances. So we all have different energies. I think you'd agree with that.
Yeah.
And the point is here that the actual, the answers to the questions allow the profiling to be reported on a talent dynamics square. So if you can just picture that, everyone listening pictures a square, and there are actually 5 different energies. So there's only 4 sides to a square, but the 5th energy is spirit energy. That is the energy where we ask the question why, and why are we here? Why are we doing what we're doing? And I'm sure if a lot of entrepreneurial people are listening. They've probably been asked that, and probably in traditional business as well. Why do you do what you do? Why is it important? And all of those things. And I think that is life. And my passion evolves from the fact that I believe, my website's called Live the Passion, and I believe that everybody should be able to do what they love and love what they do. And it is said that if you do that, you'll never work another day in your life. Think about that. If you're doing what you love, it's never going to feel like work. It's never going to feel hard, that's for sure. And that's what we really get down to. It's like, what is it that creates flow? So it's a flow consultant that I am, and it's actually about, like, how do you get into flow, meaning the path of least resistance? Where do you feel, that flow that is really you and your natural energy? And a lot of people mistake the fact that they think everybody thinks and does things the same, and that is very, very not the way
Correct.
it goes. And yeah, you might really understand that from your own struggles, and that's what we get down to in the debrief.
Yeah, I was very surprised that the primary, I guess, answer was me, and the secondary one, was like me but not like me. So it was surprised to learn that came out, and that, I mean, I always thought I was a fire sign, and that I was just the fire sign. I didn't realize that I was anything else, like any other kinds of metal or anything like that. So that was quite surprising that I found out that I was steel.
Yeah, that's actually interesting what you say, because we aren't all one energy. We all have all percentages of different energies. And a lot of the time you might find that, like, for instance, I'm very passionate about young people and helping them to determine their path, because really, why do you want to wait for your midlife crisis before you say you hate your life? Okay, so if we could think about, the school system and how, students are, steered towards a particular career, it's usually on a score. And, this is, determined, somebody sees something in them because of their academic skills. But you can learn a skill, you can be very, very good at it, and you can even go and do that well, get paid for it well, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's your flow, because it's something that, well, you will know if it is, because you'll absolutely love it, and that's how you know. It's like that it comes with ease. It is like a river, that's flowing the right way out to sea, in comparison to, a salmon swimming upstream, if you can imagine the struggle of that. And, that's really, people say, well, how do you know you're in flow? Well, you're in flow. It doesn't mean you don't have challenges, but you're in flow when things just move forward. And a lot of the time it feels like time stands still. For me, I am in flow. I'm a very people-orientated person, and I could never get tired of talking to people, as you probably know, Rose, already. And, it's just wonderful to I'm in flow right now. I'm in flow to be able to talk passionately about what I do. But there's other people who are, obviously, a lot of the listeners would know the introvert and extrovert. Lots of people understand, introverts don't like to express themselves the way that I would in my regard to relating to people. But it doesn't mean they don't like people. It just means that they actually they relate to people in a different way, usually through facts and figures and those sorts of things. So we determine everybody, the test actually gives you percentages in each area of the square, the 4 different energies. And I love this saying from Albert Einstein. I'd love to share it with your listeners. And the saying is, if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, then it would go around its whole life thinking it's stupid. Correct?
Absolutely, yep.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people have heard that, but if you haven't, think about it. It's like, that's what happens if we're judging people. For instance, I am, as you already know, Rose, not very tech savvy, which is so wonderful to have a podcaster like you who just knows how to do all of the background. I am so in flow talking to people, talking about, what I'm passionate about, but get me into that techie stuff and it will stop me from even having perhaps an interview that I might have to run myself. And it has, by the way. So can you see the difference? Because that is actually then maybe stopping me from having success in my business. And I'm beating myself up because I think that I am not as good as somebody else. And this is where I want to clarify with people the real importance of actually understanding. I'm telling everybody, and I will prove it, that you are absolutely fabulous and talented and great in your own energy. And this is why I love this tool so much. It doesn't lie. As you said, we haven't done your debrief yet. And that's where we really, unpack where you're in flow and where you're out of flow in your life. It can be to do with your business. It can be to do with you in your family situation. And the great thing is, once you actually understand you as an individual and your strengths and what you really should be saying yes to and what you should be saying no to, then you will be very valued for that skill and that energy and that talent. And to be able to add value to somebody else's life or business, people see you shine in your strengths. And therefore, when you have a team, what happens is that once you know your own strengths, and you can add that to a team, or, you're the controlling person in your business, you can appreciate other people's profiles and how differently they think. Then what we do is we appreciate other people, they appreciate us, and all of a sudden there's this flow that just, allows everybody to do what they love in their strengths. So you can get on doing more of what you love in yours. And for you, Rose, you are a creator profile. And there's many names in different ways for understanding, different names for energies in different, there are other tests, as you said, around. But this is so simple. And it's actually, it's just like creator's creator. You are a creator. You just keep creating things and you are very, very good at it. But, the thing is that if you stop a creator from, doing what's their passion and their flow, and you ask them to sort of have data and do customer service and get into this flow, that pulls them out of what really makes them more profitable. And actually that is very valuable, as you can imagine, in a business. If you're going to actually slow down and go and do other things that are out of your flow, not only are you going to lose momentum and flow in your team and in your business, it's going to affect your productivity and your actual profitability.
Yeah, it's quite, well, as you know, the last couple of weeks I've been in a bit of a funk, and because I wasn't doing some of the things that I like to do, and I don't like to say no to people, as you know. And but the test was also interesting when it came out to tell me that I'm sitting on the fence of introversy and extroversy. So that surprised me, because I thought I was more of an introvert than an extrovert. So, but I'm actually right on the fence line. So
actually, we'll go more
surprising.
into that.
That was surprising.
Yeah, well, we'll go more into that because it's really interesting about a creator profile, because your profile, I know the viewers can't see the talent dynamic square, it's very visual, but at the top of the square is the profile, the creator. It's the person who is the visionary and the person who is the big thinker, and the person like, the Richard Bransons and the Walt Disneys. And that's a really good point you said, because you are actually in the middle. There's 8 profiles around the square, and you're in the middle of the top of the square. So you are actually, as you said, in a creator profile, you can step into introvert or extrovert at your choice. Now, I'll give you a good example while we're on this topic, is that, for instance, Walt Disney was a creator. Now, that's not hard to guess, is it? But Walt Disney actually created as an introvert. So he went into his cave and he created this amazing thing called Disneyland, and thank goodness for Walt Disney, hey? So Walt Disney was a creator profile, but he had lots more percentage in an introvert. So you're not all the same. We're not putting people in a box. It's like, what percentage do you have in that area, in that side, in the introvert side? And then the extrovert example of that is Richard Branson is a creator as well. But Richard Branson is a people person. So he goes out, he loves the limelight on TV and sails his balloon around and all those sorts of things he does to create attention. And what happens is that he then, has the people skills of creation. So we all create. I don't care what profile you are, you create in your own profile. So these are just words used to describe the profiles, but it doesn't mean that other people in other profiles don't create. But getting back to Richard Branson, there is an example of an extrovert creator and Walt Disney, an introvert, and therefore they've got the same profile, but it just depends on the different percentages. Yeah. So you will, when we do your debrief, you will actually understand that more for you individually, because you're so unique.
Of course, we're all unique in some way or other. I mean, it'd be pretty sad if we're all the same, wouldn't it?
It would. We wouldn't need each other, would we?
Yeah, that's it. So I guess in your capacity as a talent and wealth dynamics consultant, how do you help small businesses through the challenges that they might be facing, especially more so in the last 2 years?
I think that, it really is relative in any year. But yes, you're right, because the thing is that, there is differences and changes that have happened. A lot of people have had to go online, for instance, right? And, learn new skills, and they might find that a real struggle if there's someone like me who has mainly been offline. Like, in my earlier days, the last 20 so years, I was in network marketing and none of it was done online. So that's even changed. So things change all the time, and we sort of got to change with the times. And the way you have to combat that is that you have to know who to bring on your team, or you might not necessarily. It's not about employing people. It's about getting mentored in the right way. And like you, Rose, we know that you are available for. I was just talking to you about my background, and you're look at your beautiful background, and you did comment my flowers are nice, but it's just that I have to get myself in a position in this house and do this video, whereas there's those skills that I haven't got a clue how to do. So then I can just pay you to do what would take me forever, probably over a week to learn, and I'd hate every minute of it. And I bet you do it in 5 minutes. So there's a very good example. So what we do is we outsource what we don't want to do. And if our circumstances change, for us to live our passion, which is absolute as I said, my dream for everybody, is to be able to do what we love. So you just have to ask yourself, even if circumstances have changed, where are my strengths? And that's why it's very important to really know them clearly. And then sometimes you might go, I know how to do a Zoom call, and I actually do Zoom calls, but I only do the things I need to do, and I do them for the purpose that it works for me and that I can get my message out. I don't do the things that, I don't need to do that I can outsource. And so sometimes that might be just a friend. You might trade time, favors, whatever you like. It's just really acknowledging what you need to do and what you need to do to get into flow. Basically, that's the bottom line. So too many people, especially in the entrepreneurial world, are trying to do everything. It slows them down. It makes them feel stuck. And, the worst outcome is that it actually makes them give up. And I could have easily been in that space if I didn't get into the wonderful mentor group that I met you in, and all of those people that I know that have the answers for me. And so, we just make sure that we learn what we need to learn to get the result we want to get, but we don't do it all ourselves.
Yeah, there's horses for courses. I totally understand that. I mean, I'm not a data person at all, never have been. I've so dislike customer service, and I was a shop owner for 10 years, and I used to hate every minute of it being in the customer service role. I'd rather be out the back or cooking or doing something rather than having to serve customers, because I hated it, absolutely hated it. But you do what you have to do. So
it's very interesting you say that, Rose, because I'm going back a long time here, like I'm going to tell you, I'm in my 60s, right? Now, when I went to school, this is really actually a good point. So when I went to school, there was no, like when I was having my first child, it was just when computers started to come into offices. Can you imagine that? That's how ancient I am. But this is the key. I was a bookkeeper. I did everything by hand, right? I wrote all the checks, did all that. No mobile phones, no nothing. So it's not like people are silly, but it's just that, those things I wasn't taught, right? Yeah. So the thing is that when you say we do what we have to do, you're right. In my era, it's like go to school, get a job, get some money, because, that's what I was going to mention. There was no credit cards. No. So we were a era of savers, and we had to, because if we wanted to car, we had to save cash. If we wanted to go overseas, whatever we wanted to do. So we got this drive to go to work, to get a job, just to get the money to do what we needed to do. And I really like to remind, the listeners, the difference in today's world. And the thing that I do really know, not just believe, but I know that we have so much choice in what we do.
Absolutely. Yeah. I remember when
the world has changed in that way, and now people can, live and do the things they love if they can really determine where their success lies.
Yeah, I remember when we had our shop and the GST came in, and I had to learn this whole new complete computer program, and I thought, how am I going to do that? But it was so easy. I just looked at it and, oh God, that's easy. And I just went to it. So, I love learning new computer programs and apps and all that sort of stuff, except for Snapchat. I still cannot get my head around Snapchat. I can do TikTok and I can do Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn. Snapchat, no.
It's really scary, that Snapchat. I don't know where it goes, and I'm not willing to.
My kids have tried to teach me, and I still can't get my head around how it works.
Well, I'm feeling good when you said that, because if it's really confusing you, then it lets me off the hook. So there you go. That is a really good example. And as I said, some people, even from especially in my day from school, they just rolled out and, went for jobs. They did learn the skills. But if you asked, I think there's statistics that it's probably a lot higher now. Over 65% of people hate their job. My passion is why? Why do they have to? They can transition if they knew how to really, pinpoint what they do love to do. I think I remember when I had a choice of my career, it was 5 things. It was a nurse, you could be a nurse, a teacher, or this or that, or a cook, or this or that. It's like on no more than 2 hands anyway. Really, now it's just like, what do you want to do? And let's create a business around it. Or
absolutely.
Let me find someone that needs my services. But when you know your value and you go, my founder of this tool, he's a global entrepreneur, and this is used globally. This is not just my tool. This is actually, in fact, I am a consultant for this tool. So let me tell you, big companies are using this very successfully, and that's why, because it just creates more profitability and all the rest of it.
I've got to say, look, I can't say enough nice things about it. It's an absolute wonderful tool. It really is. Lovely lady Dianne, where can people find you if they would like to work with you?
Well, there you go. That we were talking about all this technology. I do have a website, www.livethepassion.com.au, but I don't know how to use that very well, and it's quite aged, so I'm going to be revamping that. But private message Dianne Caldwell. Yes, you've got another job. And so the best way to contact me really is to private message me at Dianne Caldwell. I'm in Victoria, Australia, and I also do have a LinkedIn, profile, and you can find me there. So, obviously a lot of people are on LinkedIn, and I do get the messages through my email, even though I don't use it. Again, I don't use it a lot. I'm very much an offline person. I do, a lot of word of mouth and people connecting with me on that way. But yes, that's, people do have to know where to find me. So I think LinkedIn or private message me, but my website is www.livethepassion.com.au.
Perfect.
And have a little look.
Any last words of wisdom?
Well, I think the best last words of wisdom I'd like to share is that I have a mantra: live by choice, not by chance. And I think that, we only have one life as far as we know. So I want people to live their passion. I want people to do what they love. And I don't want them to limit themselves, because this tool can actually really, really clarify and clear, as I said, what to say yes to, and transition into even another field if it's something that you really want to do. It's possible. It's very possible once you own your greatness and you have someone to help you to see that. And I'm very, very willing to do that. So don't spend another day doing what you don't love. Do what you love and love what you do, and you'll never work another day for love.
Oh, Dianne, that's wonderful, wonderful, wonderful tip. And, it's something that we should all live by. It's just been my guest, Dianne Caldwell. And if you want to work with Dianne, you can find her on LinkedIn or Facebook Messenger at Dianne Caldwell. And and I will put the link to her tool in the show notes for later, so that you can experience it for yourself, and then you can get in touch with Dianne and work with her if you so choose, so that you can change your life.
Thank you, Rose. You're an amazing podcaster. I really value your talent, and I can't wait to do your debrief with you tomorrow.
Lovely, Dianne. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Talking with the experts.